Got a little behind the scenes here. Early morning start. We got some coffee here. Yeah. All right. What time do you guys wake up to get the camp started in the morning of the reenactment?
Mikey's up at about, 4:30 or so. I get up when I smell the coffee. Morning does not start until there's coffee, so Mikey's an early riser, so he gets everything up.
Yeah, it's not by choice, it just happens.
Yeah.
It comes natural. My mornings, I usually say to the crew what time we're going to eat, and then I get up about 2.5 hours prior to that, so that I fix a awesome 18th century hash that is to die for.
Okay, so you guys will eat period correct breakfast most of the time?
We do. 18th century hash, of course, the soldiers didn't really eat that way. Well, they give them a portion of meat, a protein. They give them a portion of a carbohydrate and rum. And the rum wasn't to drink, it was to sterilize their water.
British manual at the time, their daily ration of food was very impressive on paper.
On paper.
But, whether that actually occurred or not, especially out in the field, that's two different.
Oh, then also they take it out of your pay too.
Yeah, they took it out of your pay.
So don't forget about that, you're paying for it.
Soldiers get paid 6 pence a day, and 4 pence come out in stoppages. You paid for your laundry service, the women that were employed by the Army. You paid for your rum ration, you paid for your rations, and the retirement home? Remember that one?
Yeah, oh yeah. Nobody ever made it to that home, did they? I don't know.
You've seen this? It's foresting some of their property.
Well, from what I understand, all this is going to be done.
Always check the pot. You don't put it back on the fire because no water in it, it'll melt the seal, the seams, and you have problems.
Breakfast of champions for reenactors. But do you guys ever authentically cook anything?
Oh, yeah. One time we had about 20 people and we had 28 pounds of bacon for breakfast.
Whoa.
And we had something like 3 dozen eggs. So
wow.
Yeah, we cooked.
Awesome.
But here they supply stuff. They don't want us digging up the grass.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
We did a little bit down there for the coffee, just a little one.
So sometimes some people will come to the camps and say that the fire's fake.
Oh yeah.
We had one lady come to the camp. We were actually cooking, very nice. And she says, "How do you cook that?" "Was it right there on the fire?" "Well, you can't cook on wood fire. It doesn't get hot enough." I said, "How do you think they used to cook on fire?" "They use gas." I said, "Yeah, but it's hard to collect that from the cows, But you're talking 1700s. They cooked on wood." "No, it doesn't get hot enough to cook." I said, "You ever seen pictures of a house fire?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "Yeah, the stove and everything melts down." She said, "I know, it's terrible, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah, the house is made out of wood. It melts the stove you cook in." I never thought of that.
Wow.
But realistically speaking, it's amazing how many people have lost touch with so much, not just of the history, just of the way the world works.
Right.
We had 2 young ladies that I work with. They were interns, and we invited them over for a campfire and s'mores. And so they came out, and we're all sitting around the fire, and they've got their phones out, and they're taking pictures and videos and, thumbs going like 90 miles an hour. Finally, I looked at them like, what are you doing? Right? They had never in their lives been at a campfire. Ever. Apparently, they came from an urban area, and it wasn't a thing, and they had never seen one before. They had never sat at one. And as difficult as it is to believe, because everybody I knew, you grew up roasting s'mores and you go camping or whatever, but they had never actually seen a real campfire before. So there are, unfortunately, a very large number of people that this is just a completely novel thing for them.
Football was football again.
Pretty much. Did you ever give it back?
So what is the sash there for on the waist?
Typically for the militia in this time period, they're wearing their normal everyday clothing when they fight. There's not really a whole lot of things that are uniform, and so in order to denote rank among officers, right, there's no epaulets, there's no things on their normal work jacket or their normal civilian dress that would denote that. So that's what the gorget is for. And the sash also tends to denote officers within the militia ranks.
And the gorget. And what was that for?
So much like, at least in terms of the militia, it denoted rank, but really this is sort of a vestigial piece of armor. In the medieval period, it would have been a much more robust piece that covered the throat and the back of the spine and even the upper spine. And it was there to protect your neck from sword blows. By this time, the 18th century, it's become this vestigial piece of armor. It denotes status or rank, so a lot of the nobility, the aristocracy, would have worn these as a general course of their wear. And then again, in the militia, there's nothing that denotes rank because we're all just in our normal everyday civilian clothes, and so the gorget is there for that purpose.
After a full day of demonstrations, sharing history with spectators, and the reenactment battle, there were the after hours.
All right, camera's on. Is there any other story? Like what?
I've suddenly forgot all my stories.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, what stories? I don't know what you're talking about.
Camden, right? For context, I have not yet been in the unit for a full year at the time of this happening. So we're at Camden. We're fighting the Battle of Waxhaws, actually the one that is normally done here. We're standing there in the line. We are supposed to be the color guard. We are protecting the flag basically at all costs. So the horses come charging in, we shoot our shot, and we turn and run.
Our overall commander was Buford for the battle. I should have realized he was setting us up from the beginning because he said, take the 6 to that big open spot. So as we do, we run to this big open spot. I give the command, fire at will! Never mind! 10 seconds flat, we're surrounded by cavalry.
As we're running, Taylor starts to slow down. I look behind us, and the horses are still coming. I say, keep running, Taylor, because I'm not stopping. Those horses coming at you is an impressive sight.
It's terrifying.
So we come to this tree, and we basically circle around this tree, making our last stand. Horses are circling us, and we get called, throw down your arms. The original flag holder took a hit. We have a new guy. It's his first event, so he picks up the flag, and we're standing there throwing our arms. Okay, I put down my musket. I don't want to get cut down by cavalry. So they leave a couple of them there to police us, and they take off to take care of the rest of the rebels out hiding in the woods. Finally, Bert rides back over a couple minutes later, points at the kid, does that. And when he's about 10 feet away from Bert, I go, "Don't do it!" And he stops. And Bert goes, "Give me the flag." No.
I'm like, do it.
Pulls out his pistol. "Give me the fucking flag." He goes, "You're gonna have to shoot me first."
At that point, I'm like, hand over the flag. You're gonna get shot.
He cocks the pistol and goes, "Seriously, give me the flag." He puts it back in his, "Oh, seriously, give me the flag." I'm like, "Boy, I got this guy killed historically. He's dead. There's no way he did not get shot."
The flag actually belonged to the dragoon.
To Bert. So finally, he after Taylor's encouragement to hand it back over, the flag gets handed over. We get marched out as POWs, and that's the story of the flag. The flag's final valiant stand against the dragoons.
So we're playing a trivia game. It's her, by the way, that one. So we get a face.
I'm an academic weapon.
So we're playing a trivia game. It's all about history things you have to guess based on different clues.
Yeah, there's clues.
And you get 3 clues, and then you don't get any points after that. But if you get on the first one, which is more vague, then you get the most points for that card. So Addie's on my team, which is a mistake. They handicap me. And I pick up a card and I go, "Oh, this is so easy. So easy." And I go, "Dictator of Cuba."
Yeah, that's the last clue, I think, because that was the obvious one.
There was an obscure one, but I do that one now. She's got it. She's got it.
And then
she's got
because
it in the bag.
I test badly, okay? And so I immediately forget it. I'm like, I know that I'm supposed to know this, and there's literally only one name coming in my mind, and I literally cannot think of anything else.
I can't say it.
And I was like, I can't say it because I know it's wrong. And he was like, no,
and I go,
say
just
it.
say it,
say
please.
it, say it. And I was like, you guys are gonna make fun of me forever. And here we are. And I went, Dick Cheney.
Dictator, she went Dick Cheney.
So now I have a shirt with Fidel Castro's face, and it just says Dick Cheney on it.
Yeah.
So I wear it to trivia nights too now.
Yeah.
So Ridley, behind the scenes here, what are we doing?
We're tearing down camp. This tent takes 2 people to tear it down, 2 to hold it, and 1 to pull up all the stakes, and then you lower it down. You take the poles, you put them on the inside, and roll it up like a burrito. This
Okay.
table comes apart.
Okay.
That thing, and then each one of these, and each one of these, and it folds up no thicker than the board.
How did they transport all this stuff?
They transported all horses and mules and wagons, and it's manual labor. Everything was just pretty much manual.
Wow.
Yep. Oh, soldiers would carry a lot of stuff on their packs, on their backs. Like they'd have a knapsack, a large knapsack with a blanket roll on top. And they'd carry that, and they'd carry their weapons, and they'd carry food for the next day, for the next couple days. And all the wagons and everything would be behind it, and all the soldiers would be up front. And
Okay.
sometimes behind the wagons, you'd have a bunch of wives or just town folk following to sell their stuff.
Anybody want any of these?